Think about this, the biggest names in tech, all in one room today, and they're all there to talk about the future of AI.
The consequences of AI going wrong are severe.
So tonight, the warning from Elon Musk as lawmakers explore regulations on AI. Also, that big water main break in San Francisco did a lot more damage than thought. We are learning more about the timeline of the repairs, and it won't be anytime soon. And she had a rough upbringing.
I've been in and out of juvenile hall like a lot of my teenage life. The center is my family. The center has helped me through really hard and rough times.
But she found a safe space to transform her life, the youth program in Oakland that's getting a boost in the city's efforts to reduce violence.
This is CBS News Bay Area with Juliette Goodrich.
It is all the talk. It's a topic bringing 40,000 people to San Francisco from all over the world and led to a summit of the greatest tech minds at the Capitol. We're talking about the future of AI. Artificial intelligence is the theme of this year's Dreamforce conference downtown. The big draw, how this still evolving technology can be used in the real world. Our Sean Chitness gives us a look.
Everywhere you look around Dreamforce this year, you can't miss the theme, AI.
We're here to learn about AI being the hot topic. Everyone wants to know what kind of business applications can you potentially use AI for.
Kyle Mai is the Chief Innovation Officer for Esquire Bank based in New York. He's returning to Dreamforce, eager to see what more his company can do with this technology. Dreamforce was promoted as a conference bringing in dozens of the top minds on AI.
Our high-profile speakers that are coming, that are all of those researchers, are also ethics experts, and they're really talking about how we need to be thinking about regulation, how we need to be thinking about access to AI and trust in AI, secure data.
That's important for Kyle and the company he works for. As a financial institution focused on lawyers, Esquire Bank uses AI to create and send content to their customers, including marketing information about loans those customers, like a law firm, could use to grow their businesses.
They're articulating how important trust is. They're building that trust layer, because AI is effectively new functionalities that people are uncertain of.
So while much of the conversation this week will be on trust, Kyle's hopeful about the possibilities and excited to expand how his company uses this technology.
AI is there to make people's lives and productivity a lot quicker, a lot easier, and do things much more smarter and effective.
And it's not just here in the Bay Area. AI is also getting a lot of attention in Washington, D.C. today. The tech industry's most recognizable names came together on Capitol Hill. Look at that, including Mark Zuckerberg, Elon Musk, Bill Gates, and many more. They were there to give legislators a crash course on the basics of AI. It's the first of several listening sessions to educate lawmakers as they consider potential regulations on this unprecedented technology. And as Elon Musk walked out of that meeting, he said the regulations are definitely needed. Take a listen.
I think the probability of there being some sort of AI regulatory agency that stands on its own, similar to the FAA or FCC, is likely at some point.
You think so?
I think so. Now, the reason that I've been such an advocate for AI safety in advance of sort of anything terrible happening is that I think the consequences of AI going wrong are severe. So we have to be proactive rather than reactive.
Some examples of AI today include self-driving cars, platforms like ChatGPT and Siri and Alexa. But the possibilities to expand the technology are endless. And that is why some major companies signed a voluntary pledge at President Biden's request to develop the technology responsibly. Among them, look at this, Salesforce, Adobe, IBM, Amazon, Google, Meta, Microsoft, and OpenAI. Some of the concerns about AI include copyright issues, understandably, and the robot staking jobs, which is one of the main sticking points in the ongoing SAG-AFTRA strike. So to address those concerns, one South Bay lawmaker plans to introduce a bill to make it harder for studios to use AI to digitally clone an actor or an anchor's image. State Senator Scott Wiener plans to go even one step further. He's pitching creating a state agency to make sure AI isn't being used for malicious purposes. All right, starting next fall, tuition going up for tens of thousands of college students in California's CSU system. The Board of Trustees voted to approve a multi-year tuition increase. The CSU system is facing a deficit of $1.5 billion. So tuition will increase 6% every year for 5 years in a row. By 2028-2029 school year, tuition will be nearly $2,000 more, and that applies to less than half of all students. Those who either qualify for grants and waivers or those with higher family incomes. But that's still more than 180,000 students. In Oakland, violence prevention groups could get some desperately needed help to continue their critical work. The Public Safety Committee just approved $28 million in funding for community groups over the next year and a half. Now the City Council will make the final decision. Our Leslie Gooden spoke to one of those groups about what that extra money could mean.
It's called the Young Women's Freedom Center, and they provide special resources, life-changing resources for youth, women, and all trans people of all genders. Now, I had the opportunity to meet a special teen who tells me that the center changed her life.
They called Freedom Circle.
Okay, and what is that?
Pretty much, it's a safe space for girls to come and let their voices be heard. We teach them little things like how to budget, how to start a bank account, things like that.
18-year-old Tay Thomas is an intern for Oakland's Young Women's Freedom Center. But a year ago, she was an attendee in need of resources.
It was a big help because I am a formerly system impacted youth. I've been in and out of juvenile hall like a lot of my teenage life. So I learned about the center from one of my friends. First, I really just came for the money because you get a $50 Visa card just to come. So first, I really just came for the money. But as I came to the center and kept coming every week, I formed a little family.
Now the 4.0 graduate says, first hearing that her second home could lose funding, says she's worried for other teens.
It's like people taking away from your family. That's how it feels to me. The center is my family. The center has helped me through really hard and rough times, or I didn't have a place to go, or I was struggling just with my mental health. The center has came and really been like a grounding point.
The center also partners with the Urban Peace Movement, who hosted a rally and community meeting at a city meeting on Tuesday. And due to public demand, the committee voted to approve $28 million and funding towards the violence prevention programs. Jasmine Fry, the site director at the Oakland Young Women's Freedom Center, says she feels like the city was listening at the meeting.
The city council member was expressing that actually this is a need, and actually we don't want to cut. And like I said, I believe that is because, I know that's because we are mobilizing.
And now whether these nonprofits will actually receive this funding will be determined later this month by the city council.
Leslie, thank you. Still ahead, we have new information tonight about when that massive sinkhole in San Francisco may be fixed and why it may be a tough road ahead for businesses caught in the middle of it all.
We'll support each other. I'll still come. I'll climb over the mountains.
Fog is definitely climbing over the landscape of San Francisco, swallowing up our camera on top of the Mark Hopkins Hotel. But before that fog rolled in, it was mild around the bay and even on the warm side inland. That starts to change a tiny bit tomorrow. We've got a cooler weekend in store. Details coming up in the First Alert forecast.